Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome back with me. My name is Yustika Dian Sari and you can call me Yustika. In this session, I will explain about how to plan a lesson. The term lesson is popularly considered to be a unified set of activities that cover a period of classroom time, usually ranging from 40 to 90 minutes. These materials are administratively significant for teachers because they represent steps along a curriculum before which and after which you have a hiatus or of a day or more in which to evaluate and prepare for the next lesson. And there are two ways how to plan a lesson, and each way have several explaining, and I will explain you the first step. Format a lesson. The first, goal. You should be able to identify an overall purpose or goal that you will attempt to accomplish by the end of the class period. This goal may be quite generalized, but it serves as a unifying theme for you. Thus, in the sample lesson plan, understanding telephone conversations, generally identify the lesson plan. And second, objectives. It is very important to state explicitly what you want students to gain from the lesson. Explicit statements here help you to first be sure that you indeed know what it is you want to accomplish, and then preserve the unify for your lesson. And the next, predetermine whether or not you are trying to accomplish too much. And the last, evaluate students' success at the end of or after the lesson. And the third, materials and equipment. It may seem a trivial matter to list materials needed, but good planning includes knowing what you need to take with you or to arrange to have in your classroom. It is easy, in the often hurried life of a teacher, to forget to bring to class a tape recorder, a poster, some handouts you left on your desk at home, or the workbooks that students gave you the night before. And fourth, procedures. As a very general set of guidelines for planning, you might think in terms of making sure your plan includes an opening statement or activity as a warm-up, a set of activities and techniques in which you have considered appropriate proportions of time, and last, closure. And 5, evaluation. If your lesson has no evaluate component, you can easily find yourself simply making assumptions that are not informed by careful observation or measurement. Evaluation is an assessment, formal or informal, that you make after students have sufficient opportunities for learning. And 6, or the last, extra classwork. Sometimes misnamed homework, students don't necessarily do extra classwork only at home. Extra classwork, if it is warranted, needs to be planned carefully and communicate clearly to the students. Whether you are teaching in an EFL or ESL situation, you can almost always find applications or extensions of classroom activity that will help students do some learning beyond the class hour. And the second way is guidelines for lesson planning. First, how to begin planning. For teachers who have never taught before, it is often very useful to write a script of your lesson plan in which your exact anticipate words are written down and followed by exactly what you would expect students to say in return. Scripting out a lesson plan helps you to be more specific in your planning and can often prevent classroom pitfalls, and also more practical and instructive for you are partial scripts. And second, variety, sequencing, pacing, and timing. 4 considerations come into play here. A. Most successful lesson gives students a number of different activities during the class hour, keeping minds alert and enthusiasm high. B. elements of a lesson will build progressively toward accomplishing the ultimate goals. Easier aspects will usually be placed at the beginning of a lesson. Texts from previous exercises will be sequenced appropriately. See, pacing can mean a number of things. First, it means that activities are neither too long nor too short. Second, you need to anticipate how well your various techniques flow together. Third, good pacing also is a factor of how well you provide a transition from one activity to the next. And the last T, you have given some time to students for genuine interaction and creative use of language. And 3. Gauging difficulty. The main problem here lies in the heterogeneity of a classroom full of learners whose proficiency range is very broad. Individual attention, feedback, and small group work sometimes bring balance into the classroom. And fourth, individual differences. Take several steps to account for individual differences. A. Design techniques that have easy and difficult aspects or items. B. Use small groups and pair work time to circulate and give extra attention to those below or above the norm. And C. Try to design techniques that will involve all students' activity. And next, 5. Students talk and teacher talk. As you plan your lesson, students have a chance to talk too, produce language, and even to initiate their own topics and ideas. And 6. Adapting to an established curriculum. Perhaps your institution has no curriculum spelled out in a document. In other words, it is a textbook-driven curriculum that in practice simply tells you to teach everything in a textbook. And the last, or 7, classroom lesson notes. What sort of lesson notes will you actually carry into the classroom with you? If you have notes and reminders and scripts, you will never free yourself more spontaneously. Most experienced teachers operate well with no more notes. And this is my explaining about how to write a lesson plan. Thank you and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.